Travis Gillespie, and this is Math Live. Today we're going to look at solving absolute value inequalities and using the less than symbol here. Let's look at an absolute value inequality with the less than symbol. Let's say that I have, let me change colors for you. I got the absolute value of x plus 3 is less than 12. Well, whenever I have an inequality with an absolute value expression, such as this, it can be written as a compound inequality. And a compound inequality, basically, it's two inequalities that are combined using the terms or statements and, or, the statement or. So those are what compound inequalities are. Let's start by isolating the absolute value. Just as I would with an absolute value equation, I want to isolate the absolute value. So to do that, I'm going to subtract 3 on both sides, and that's a bad looking 3, so turn that into a 3. And I know that my absolute value of x is less than 9. Now I can go and graph this. What I want to do once I get to this point, once I've isolated the absolute value, is think. And the thing that I want to think is, hey, x to 0 is less than 9 units. So you want to think x to 0 is less than 9 units. Let me draw up a number line and show you what I mean. So we got our number line here. And let's call this 0. We'll do a few more points. And let's call these points -3, -6, -9, -12. And this number line is going to continue going on that direction. 3, 6, 9, 12. And this number line will continue going off in this direction. Okay, again, the thing we're thinking is x to 0, it's less than 9 units. So the x value has got to be less than 9 units, x to 0. So the furthest I can be out from 0 is 9 units on either side. Well, there's two numbers that are 9 units from 0. -9 is 9 units from 0. And also +9 is 9 units from 0. Let me draw this up for you guys. So this distance, 0 to 9, is 9 units. And this distance from 0 to -9 is also a total of 9 units. Now, once I get to this point, I already know that x is less than 9 units from 0. So now I know that I can draw my line from 0 to 9 and 0 to -9. And basically my line is going to go from point to point. If it's going from point to point, when I go to write my inequality, let's go and write the inequalities real quick. Well, on this side, I have -9, and x is moving in a direction that's greater than -9. So x is greater than -9. Also, so I'm using the term and, because x is also less than +9 units. It's moving in a less than, it's moving in a direction that's less than 9 units. So x is greater than -9, and x is less than +9. And once I get here, I can combine the two inequalities, and I end up with, in reality, I'm going to flip this inequality to say -9 is less than x is less than 9, or -9 less than x, and x less than 9. Let's look at another one. So let's say that I'm dealing with inequality that is the absolute value of x minus 7 is less than negative 3. Again, I've got my absolute value. I want to solve or isolate the absolute value here of x. So let's isolate it by, how do we get rid of subtraction? Well, we undo it by addition of 7 on both sides, which will give me the absolute value of x. The absolute value of x is less than 4. Okay. Again, once I get to this point, this is an x, by the way, that's a real bad looking x. Let me change the color on it. Okay, so the absolute value of x less than 4. And we're going to move forward here by thinking, once I get to this point, I want to think, hey, I want to think the distance from x to 0 is less than 4 units. Again, the distance from x to 0 is less than 4 units. Let's take a look at that inequality above real quick. We had here the absolute value of x is less than 9, and we thought x is less than 9 units from 0. So now, down below, we're going to think the distance from x to 0 is less than 4 units. So let's draw this up. Got our number line, 0. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, and also negative 4. And this number line is moving in that direction, this is moving in that direction. And let's plot these points. Again, I have open circles because I'm using the symbol, the inequality, less than. So what numbers are 4 units away from 0? Well, that's negative 4 is 4 units away from 0. Positive 4 is 4 units away from 0, and I can prove that here by showing you that 0 to positive 4 is 4 units. Also, 0 to negative 4 is 4 units. Okay, so now once I get to this point, I know that the distance from x to 0 is less than 4 units. So my arrow on the left side, dealing with the negative 4, is going to move towards 0. Also, again, x to 0 is less than 4 units, so from positive 4 to 0, it's moving this direction. And from here, I can look and pretty much write out the inequality pretty simply. I say, hey, x is greater than negative 4, and I'm also including the other inequality, and x is less than positive 4. Once I get to this point, I'm going to combine both inequalities to make a compound inequality. And what I really have, I'm flipping again the negative 4 less than x. So I have negative 4 less than x and x less than 4.